of panic attacks, your greatest form of healing is going to be your breath. It's going to be your breath. It's going to be getting out in nature. It's going to be music, and it's more than likely going to be humming.
Come hold me close, just let me know if you're here through thick and thin. Come hold me close.
I am dressed, and I just noticed I only have one earring on. I'll be right back. Got him. So I wanted to do this video on being able to distinguish the difference between, I'm going to put this on my phone stand. I don't know why I do things complicated. Hold on. All right, I promise you, I think I'm done getting this all together. All right. So I wanted to do this video on the importance of recognizing which aspect of yourself you're working from. The body, this physical body, lives in the present moment at all times. The mind is a time traveler. The mind likes to travel to the past, and the mind likes to travel to the future. When you're connected to your physical body, you're able to know when you're leaning towards the mind or when you're leaning towards being in the present moment. And this is why it's important to be connected to this physical aspect of yourself, which a lot of people try to deny and disconnect themselves from, because it comes with an internal GPS. It comes with emotions, it comes with feelings, it comes with the senses, which to me represent antennas that allow you to move through this life with awareness. The mind loves to live in the past. It loves to create itself in the future. It loves to retell stories. It loves to be in a victim mind frame sometimes. It loves to lie. It loves to deceive. It loves to manipulate, to where the body just is in its pure form with just being in the present moment. The more that we begin to dwell in here, the less we dwell from here. And oftentimes when you wonder why you have anxiety or panic attacks, it's because you've completely disconnected yourself from the physical aspect of yourself. And you're living in a false identity. And it's a trigger, or it's a warning to let you know that you are somewhat in a space of not allowing yourself to be present in the here and now moment. And that symptom creates this physical feeling inside of you so you can listen. And oftentimes we don't listen. And if we do, we'll correct it or mask it for a small little time frame just to get over to the next, minute or months. But this is a longevity. This is an infinite journey here while we're here, this aspect of it, and so it's important to remember your breath. I think that is the seat of the soul, is the breath. And I feel like it's the medium between the mind and the physical. And if you're ever in a space of feeling anxious or having anxiety or going through any type of panic attacks, your greatest form of healing is going to be your breath. It's going to be your breath. It's going to be getting out in nature. It's going to be music. And it's more than likely going to be humming. The humming noise, or the om noise, is a vibration that is felt and recognized all throughout your body, from the toes, from the tips of the toes of your feet, all the way to your crown. So when you're doing the om noise, it's sending this vibration to the vagus nerve, letting the vagus nerve to know that you are okay. Everything is okay. And then the vagus nerve begins to extend itself to inform the nervous system that all is well. And breathing, getting out into the sun, getting out in nature, taking your fucking shoes and socks off and standing in the grass while the sun is shining on you and humming while you're having a anxiety or panic attack is one of the best forms of medicine. Because what's happening is that you are either living too much in your past or you're living too much in the future. And it's okay to do both as long as you know how to alchemize and transmute the energy to where you're always centered within those realms. And we always want to go to a masking or a cover-up, you know, and you have to sit with the shit. Especially, another thing that you also need to understand, and I've learned to understand for myself, is that I'm having lunch with my friend, so I gotta get myself together. What was I gonna say? Come back to me, baby. Come back to me. We are connected to the moon, the stars, the planets. And so whatever is transitioning in the planets is also transitioning within yourself. And the physical part of that is going to be felt in your physical body. And so you have to be able to have discernment, the spirit of discernment, to not be so quick to go to a doctor that is just going to fuck you up even more. And realize that you are your own healer if you could only get in tuned with your physical body. So when the planets go through the shifting, you know, Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, just the cosmos in general, the physical body has to begin to transform and align itself to the conditions of what is happening in the stars. So physically, we're going to feel this shit. You might feel a migraine. You might feel maybe your eyes might get a little bit blurry sometimes. You might feel like you might have vertigo. You might feel a little dizziness. You might feel itching in your skin. All of these are ascension symptoms that happen in the physical body. And so to be able to recognize and to sit with these things are very important. You have to begin to learn how to feel through your path and your journey. You have to feel these things. And I know we're so disconnected from our bodies that the first thing that comes up is being fear-based. You know, we become very fearful in, oh my God, why am I feeling like this? Oh my God, but this is a constant energy that we're not just in energy, but a constant shift in frequencies that we're going to constantly be experiencing. You know, so it's important to recognize and to honor that physicality of yourself and stop denying that part of you because it's important. I know, you know, religion teaches you to be detached from the physical form, but the physical form, it has a purpose. Everything that you or that we have said to disconnect from is all useful and it's all mandatory, because if it wasn't, we wouldn't be wearing these sleeves. It's just that we've lost our connection with ourselves, you know? And yeah. So that was on my mind. I'm constantly just always thinking about shit, and I'm just learning how to document them. One, for myself. Two, because I just like to share and I think it's important. And whoever hears, let them hear. And if you don't, well then, you know, everybody has their journey. Mama, you smell, I have coconut. You want some? Mama wants some coconut? She loves coconut oil. Let me give her some. So yeah, you know, it's just being able to recognize that your mind is a time traveler. Your physical body lives in the here and now. And your breath is the one that intercedes between both of them. So your breath is something that you need to harness and you need to channel. Even me, I still have shallow breathing, and I'm learning how to get myself in a space of not always breathing so shallow and doing breathing techniques. It's funny because now my ex-husband is a yoga teacher, and we used to be in like Christianity and, you know, just Bible studies every weekend, and you know, and now he teaches yoga and has a big old Om symbol on his body, and I'm just like, it's just crazy how him and I were in just two. So yeah, so the last time I talked to him, you know, because we still keep in contact, he lives in Belize, which I'm considering going to for my birthday in January. I haven't been to Belize yet, and I want to go. But yeah, he was just like, you know, your shallow breathing is just because you're holding on to shit still. So, you know, I'm just constantly going through the process, you know, and yeah, the breath is just, I think we just take it for granted. We really take our breath for granted. So yeah, it's just being able to decipher where you're living within yourself, you know, I think is like the most important thing that you can recognize. And I completely understand this life is meant to keep you from yourself. You know, it's here to keep you in entertainment. It's here to keep you in having relationships that lead you away from yourself. It's here to keep you in politics. It's here to keep you in chaotic living conditions or chaotic environments or just chaos around you. You know, but ultimately, you can't lose yourself in this process, you know, and oftentimes people will lose themselves or they'll just give up. And it's a rough journey, you know, it can be a rough journey if you allow it to be rough. Energy plays a huge part on every aspect of your life. And I feel when we begin to learn the laws of sound and frequency and vibration and how powerful sound is, and you make that a part of your journey, that's when you'll begin to see things shift. And, you know, oftentimes we just walk around like we're just zombies and don't know anything. And I guess maybe that is part of some people's truths, you know. But I think there's also this will that has been given to everyone to seek, you know, to seek out different aspects of yourself. Like, this can't just all be all that I am, you know. And I think that's been my thing, like always questioning. There has to be something more. There has to be, you know, something else. And, you know, and there was. And I think that was just my willingness to be open and to question everything, you know, everything that was instilled in me, everything that people told me I was, and created a rebelliousness within me. And I'm okay with that. I needed this journey that I'm currently on. I needed the stripping away of the cloaking that I was in. I needed a stripping away from everything that I thought I needed in order to, you know, feel a certain way and to mask the voids that I was living in. And I've become so connected to myself these last few years, even just living van life. It's just really taught me a lot about myself, because I'm by myself 98% of the time. It's every once in a while I'll go eat with a friend. Every once in a while I'll get on a dating app and go have a grown-ass conversation with a man and have a couple drinks. You know, other than that, I'm right back. I'm right back here in my van, in my solitude, in my own energy field, in my vortex, in my portal, in my spaceship, you know, seeking the aspects of my life that put a smile on my heart and make my heart skip a beat. You know, it's I really do think we take our lives for granted, and I don't really feel this life was meant for suffering. I feel that it was meant to recognize contrast, but then your perspective and your perception releases the tension and the intensity of that contrast. You know, you begin to ride the wave of the contrast and not be so against it, because at the end of the day, you realize it's all you. What pure madness it is to know that you create this reality for yourself and then bitch to everybody else about it, or blaming them as you being the victim of your own creation. That's pure madness. But some of us don't even realize we're doing that. I didn't realize I was doing that for a very long time. And then as soon as I realized, everything began to shift. I looked at people differently. I looked at my circumstances differently. I didn't consider myself going through trials and tribulations anymore. I would just see things show up and be like, I see me. All right, so now I just need to fine-tune this area or fine-tune this area. And part of me being able to get there has been for me to be able to shed a lot of shit that I just don't need, that I don't even care about anymore. I literally threw so much shit in the trash. That's how desperate I was to just let it all go. People were taking too long to show up. I would just throw it in the trash and felt like whoever it's for, so be it. So be it. You know, people were like, sell it on Facebook, Mark, sell it on here. I don't care about it. And no, clothes, buku clothes, close up the yin yang. I just grab them, put them in plastic bags, and take them to the women that were there on the street that I would see going through my paths every once in a while, and just drop the bags off and just let them have ham on it. You know, so you get into a space of yourself where, is all of this really necessary? Is it really necessary? I mean, I haven't had any issues living in this life, living in my van and living this lifestyle, and I've been in it for 3 years now. I've not had one issue. My issues maybe have just been the wear and tear that I put on my van, but with people, not one. Not one. You know, maybe some guy asked me if I had a lighter, and, you know, he just kept asking because he was high, you know, but that was like the extent of my journey. I've never had any crazy experiences, you know, and I think a lot of that is being in the present moment, because if I focus on what has happened in my past and bring that energy along with me into the now moment, I'm going to be living and vibrating off of that frequency, and that frequency is going to be at emitting, and then it's going to be bringing shit to me off of this old shit that I'm not even in anymore. It's just a memory, and I get to choose if I want this activated or not. But what I chose to do was release that, live in the present moment, and now live very intentional every single day according to the field that I'm in. And I think that is the breath. You know, I think that is the breath. It's not just breathing out and breathing in. It's about being that center. You know, it's about, hold on, because there's a big truck coming. So yeah, you know, that is the breath. Being in your center of yourself is your breath, because it's automatically going to release the things that you're holding on to. You know, being present is going to release a lot of things. Being in your authentic self is going to release a lot of things in your life that you don't even have to put the effort into, because you've chosen yourself. And when you choose yourself, a lot of people aren't going to appreciate that. And so they'll eliminate themselves from the equation. And that's what you want. You want your authenticity and you want your self-love to emanate so deeply into your world that those that aren't on that same frequency don't even want to dwell there with you. You know, and this is where detachment is very important, because in this life of evolving and recognizing yourself, there's going to be a lot of that happening. And you have to be okay with detaching. And it doesn't matter the length of time. It doesn't matter family, friend, foe. When that release needs to happen, it needs to happen. You came here naked and you're going to leave here naked. And yeah. So the mind is a time traveler. Travels here, travels there, travels everywhere. And your body is the present. It's in the present moment, will always be in the present moment, and it will always speak to you in the present moment of situations that you are in, people that are around you, how you're feeling. You know, it's going to signal when all of that shit is off, and you need to listen to that. But if you're too much in the time traveling state, You're not going to feel any of this. And then you're going to wonder why shit happens to you, and why you can't read people, and why you can't, you know, see things for what they are and not how you are. And sometimes that could be a double-edged sword as well. So anyways, I'm gonna finish up getting myself together. This is day 2 with my hair. She's looking all right. I put coconut oil. I washed all the shit out yesterday, and I put coconut oil in it, and so now she's soft. All right, peace.